Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session, which is going to be readings of eco plays brought to you by FLYWAY Journal and the EcoTheatre Lab. My name is Taylor Sklenar. I am a drama and poetry editor at FLYWAY and also a member of the EcoTheatre Lab. FLYWAY Journal of Writing and Environment is housed at the MFA program in Creative Writing and Environment here at Iowa State. It is an international journal that is interested in exploring the interaction between science and the environment and the human experience, with both of those terms defined fairly broadly, with all of the facets and intricacies that are wrapped up in that. It is an interdisciplinary journal that publishes everything from poetry, fiction, nonfiction, to interviews and visual arts, and even a children's book. And pursuant that, we wanted to this year pursue a project that is actually publishing play scripts. Because theater is often considered to be one of the most interdisciplinary of the artistic genres, given that it incorporates visuals and sound and color and actors moving and all of these things. And so we wanted to publish plays, but we didn't want to just stop there because scripts are best served out loud and in motion. So we got in contact with the EcoTheatre Lab that is stationed here in Ames and is concerned with plays that deal with environmental and social justice and doing theater actions. And through this collaboration, we put together these script readings. For those of you that are not in the theater world, a script reading is sort of a pared down version compared to what you might think of as a production. So you won't see any sets, any costuming and props are typically minimal. And it's really about serving the words themselves and the playwright's intent in the script. And so that's the kind of reading that you'll see in this virtual format here today. Without further ado, please enjoy these three brand new scripts that are forthcoming in our spring issue of FLYWAY. Thank you.
Proceeds. A 10-minute romantic comedy for nerds by Andrew Lane Hunter. Characters: Lorelai, Jacqueline. They can be any age from 16 to 60, but they should be fairly close in age to each other. Setting: the play takes place on a beach in August, any time in the 2000s, during the Perseid meteor shower. Lighting suggests dusk moving into darkness. A sound cue of gentle ocean waves throughout is desired. At rise, Lorelai and Jacqueline are on the beach. It's dusky, dark, and gets darker as the play progresses. Lorelai stares at the sky for a while, expectantly. Jacqueline gazes out at Lorelai.
So, Lorelai, when will it happen?
Technically, it's already happening. It just has to get dark enough for us to see it.
And why does it happen? The same time every year. That doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't it just happen all the time? Is it magic? It's magic, isn't it?
Not magic. There's this comet, the Swift Tuttle, and it's...
Swift Tuttle? That sounds very British. Good evening, Mr. Swift Tuttle. Might I bring you a crumpet? Could I show you to the loo? Perhaps you'd like a biscuit, by which I mean a cookie, of course, to go with your tea.
They were both American.
Who?
Swift and Tuttle. They both discovered it, the comet, but not together. Just at the same time, I think. So it got both their names, to be fair.
That's kind of disappointing.
Sorry.
I wanted it to be a British thing.
Well, There's no astronomy police around, so just pretend I didn't say anything.
I'll try, but that part's kind of ruined now.
Oh, sorry. I don't want it to be ruined.
I'll live. It's okay. Lorelai, it's totally okay. I'm messing with you, okay?
Okay.
So, why do you know all this about Swift Tuttle?
I look things up. I mean, at one point in time, if you wanted to know something your parents didn't know, you had to, go to the library and find a book, or pull out an encyclopedia or something. It was work to find things out back then. You had to earn knowledge, like Boy Scout badges. But now you can carry around access to pretty much the sum total of human knowledge right in your back pocket. It fits in the palm of your hand. It's criminal now not to look something up you want to know. That's what I think.
Principles of the pursuit of knowledge.
Principles are good. Are you still in pursuit?
Of knowledge?
I mean, do you still want to know about the meteor shower? I was going to tell you why it happens.
Oh, yeah. We still haven't seen anything.
Well, it's really not that dark yet.
Tell me the knowledge then, while we wait for it to get dark.
Okay, so there's this comet, Swift Tuttle, and it goes along on its.
Can you tell it in a British accent?
Jacqueline, wait.
Please.
Seriously?
Please, 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 with a shooting star on top.
I'll try. Just for you. Can't believe I'm. So, of course, there's this comet, Swift Tuttle, and it goes along its orbit, spewing debris about behind it. And this time every year, mid-July to mid-August, the Earth is passing through its orbit. We're passing through the comet's orbit, so we're right in the debris trail. It spits off chunks of itself as it goes, and the debris hits us, the atmosphere, at I can't remember, really fast speeds.
Fast speeds. Fast speeds. It's totally better with the accent.
Fast speeds. Sorry. And the chunks of the comet burn up in our atmosphere. Luckily, instead of hitting the land. Land? Land.
Land? Land. Now neither sounds right. I don't really know.
Anyway, the debris burning through the atmosphere makes shooting stars.
Really?
Yep, that's it. That's why it happens.
Not magic?
No. Well, I mean, not in the sense that it's wizards fighting each other with wands or baby dragons practicing breathing fire or anything like that. But it's still kind of magical. To me.
Yeah, it totally is. If it will ever happen. Wait, they're getting brighter. Am I crazy, or are the stars getting brighter?
It's getting darker. So yeah, the stars are getting brighter.
Jacqueline scoots a little closer.
Where should I look?
Well, they call it the Perseids because it appears as if the meteorites originate from the constellation Perseus.
But I'm guessing they don't really originate from there.
No, not really. The stars in the constellation are super far away. The comet's orbit trail is much closer, but I think they say the shooting stars radiate from Perseus.
So, where do I look?
Sorry, at the constellation Perseus.
You're just going to have to, point my head in the right direction.
Lorelai tenderly directs Jacqueline's head so they are closer together.
They're gonna be coming from over there-ish, but they can radiate out in any direction, so really, just watch. And watch with a soft focus, out of the corner of your eye, too.
Who knew watching for shooting stars would be so complicated?
I didn't mean to make it complicated.
Complicated isn't bad, Lorelai.
Oh. Oh, Do you think complicated is good?
Depends on the particular complication. Is there a certain complication you have in mind? Lorelai?
Oh my God. Did you see that?
What?
It had a big
No,
orange tail. It
I
was
missed
enormous.
it.
It was so beautiful. Tell me you saw that.
I missed the very first one.
Don't worry. There'll be more. Loads more.
I'm so bummed. I was looking at you though. So that wasn't too bad.
Oh. Really?
Nerds are cool now. Didn't you know?
You think I'm a nerd?
I mean, yeah, but in a good way. In a great way.
Oh, totally. I totally think being called a nerd is a compliment.
Principles of the pursuit of knowledge.
Do you think I'm ridiculous?
No. God, no. I think you're awesome.
Oh. You know, Jacqueline, there can be principles of other things too, you know?
Like what?
Anything, everything.
Yeah, I know. Of course, there are lots of principles. But what were you thinking of specifically when you made that comment?
Um, I was thinking of principles of attraction.
Attraction?
I was thinking of electrical attraction.
Electrical attraction. Oh, do tell.
Well, you know, in science,
Oh, so this is science?
of course. What were you thinking?
Never mind me.
So, if you get an object, like a balloon, for example, all charged up,
All charged up?
are you going to let me talk?
By all means.
So, if you get a balloon all charged up, like by rubbing it on someone's head, say, charged up with extra electrons, that's the charge, the extra electrons. Then all those unstable atoms, the ones that lost the electrons and the ones that gained them, they attract other atoms looking for stability because atoms need the right amount of electrons to be stable.
Like hair. Like how balloons make your hair stand up?
Exactly. Or if you tear up little pieces of paper, they can rise toward the balloon or other balloons. You've been to birthday parties, you've seen it.
Attraction, huh? That's the first principle that came to your mind while we were hanging out? Under the beautiful stars on the beach? Interesting. Some might say romantic, even.
I'm glad you find science romantic.
I do. Oh, I do.
And in fact, the closer the two objects get, the stronger the attraction is until spark, and then they're stable.
So, just to make sure I understand this, if one of us, say if you, just as a totally random example, had extra electrons, I might find myself, through no fault of my own, being pulled toward you powerfully and inexplicably.
Well, yes, except it wouldn't be inexplicable because the extra electrons would explain it.
Right, the explanatory electrons. Well, listen, I've been meaning to tell you, I've been diagnosed recently with a really bad case of electron shortage. And so I find myself always moving toward people who seem charged.
Oh,
I can't help it.
it's totally out of your control.
Totally.
Jacqueline has moved very close to Lorelai. They are about to kiss when
Oh my God! Did you see that? Wow! Wow, just wow, wow, wow. It was sparkly and long. Oh, it was so long, trailing all the way across the sky. I can't believe it.
I missed that one. But I was looking at you, so that wasn't too bad.
Oh, but was it good?
It was better than good. It was complicated and scientific and charged.
Lorelai, I. You said the comet is leaving behind little pieces of itself in its trail, and they burn up in the atmosphere?
The burning pieces are the shooting stars.
I think, maybe, I'm charged, and you're taking up my electrons.
Do tell.
Like, like I'm leaving behind some little pieces of myself. I think they're shooting off and burning up in the atmosphere of you.
I think I feel them.
I needed to let go of some electrons and let them find the atoms that needed them. Spark.
My atoms?
Yeah. Your atoms needed my electrons.
I think that makes a lot of sense. In a really nerdy way.
Hey.
Don't worry, it's cool to be a nerd. Plus, your electrons make me feel really stable, baby. Oh my God!
Yes.
Did you see?
Yes. I saw it. It was beautiful. It was like
Like looking at
looking at
you.
you.
Fade to black and away.
Tea Time with His Royal Highness the Cowardly Lion, a one-act play by Jenny MacDonald. Characters. His Royal Highness the Cowardly Lion. A lion, king of the forest, king of the beasts, the cowardly lion of the Wizard of Oz. A bubbly, if fearful monarch, still surprised at his elevated position. Ostrich. An ostrich, also a footman, that is, footbird. Antelope, a young lady antelope reporter making a name for herself. And people, an imaginary crowd that comes and goes through the audience. Time and place. The veranda of His Royal Highness the Cowardly Lion's palace. A table is set for tea time. 2 chairs. Ostrich makes a minuscule adjustment to the flatware, slightly shifts the silver teapot, and stands at attention just behind the table, checking his wireless earphones. Although the characters represent animals, the actors move and speak like human beings. The people behave, well, as people do. His Royal Highness the Cowardly Lion peers out from behind the curtain off stage.
Is she here yet?
Not yet, sire.
He enters fretfully, wearing a fine robe and crown.
Oh, I do wish she would come so we can get this over with. All of this attention, it's overwhelming. How do you like my new robe?
Of course, it's not for me to say, sire, but I think it's very nice indeed.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Satin, of course, not cotton, not chintz. It's the best part of all this regal life.
He takes a cake from the table.
Except for the cakes and the pillows and the carriages. Those are all very nice, but beyond that, my fine feather friend, take my advice. Be careful what you wish for.
Ostrich adjusts the remaining cake so the missing one won't mar the arrangement.
As you say, sire.
He taps his earphone and nods.
Yes, send her in.
She's here. What's her name again?
Antelope. She's the host of a podcast called Where Are They Now? It's one of your favorites.
Oh, yes. She interviews such interesting characters.
Antelope enters.
Majesty, it's a pleasure. Thank you for meeting with me today.
Oh, that's all down to Ostrich. He says I have to work on my brand and make myself more visible, you know?
In your position, don't you get out all the time?
It's difficult.
I'm sure. A king among his subjects, everyone wanting something from you.
Oh, no, that's not the real reason. It's just that well, I'm afraid.
Afraid. Interesting. May I sit down? I won't bite, I promise.
Do you like cake? I like cake.
Ostrich pulls out a chair for him and the other for Anne. Anne sets a recording device on the table, which Ostrich moves slightly to suit the tea time arrangement.
Do you mind if I record? For the podcast.
Wonderful. Do have some cake.
Ostrich receives a message on his earphone.
You'll have to excuse Ostrich. He's always on that thing.
Pardon me, sire, but those people are back again. They promised not to interrupt, but wish to come through.
Again. Oh, very well. Send them through. Just through the garden, mind you. They can see us from there.
People.
Yes, yes. They like to come and see me in my natural habitat, take a photo to show their friends back home, that sort of thing.
He points at the people passing into the audience.
Look, there they are. Smile, my dear.
The two of them smile politely, pose, and wave to the people downstage. Cameras click and flash. They watch the people exit. Ostrich pours the tea. His Royal Highness the Cowardly Lion and Anne partake of tea and cakes through the following.
It's very generous of you.
It is?
To let them just parade through the royal garden. I mean, don't you find it a little intrusive? Especially if they haven't made arrangements beforehand.
Oh, it's just once in a while, although more often since I became king. They do stay outside the gates and try not to bother me. I'm trying to get used to the attention, but I confess I miss the days of roaming wherever I want it. It's not easy being a king and a coward.
But I thought you found your courage with Dorothy's help.
You are so right. Ostrich, where's my medal?
Sire, you are wearing your medal?
I am.
He fumbles with his royal robes. A large bow is covering the medal.
Bother these furbelows.
He yanks off the bow and flings it away. He holds up the medal adoringly.
Ah, yes, I am. Yes, I have courage. It says so right here on this medal that the wizard gave me. How could I have forgotten?
Ostrich receives a message on his earphone. He nods.
Pardon me, sire, but those people are back again. They promised not to interrupt, but wish to come through.
Again.
He looks at Anne.
You don't have to allow this, Your Majesty. This is your space, your tea time. They can come back later.
You're right. They can come back when I say so. Tell them, Ostrich.
Ostrich turns away, conveying the message and listening to the response.
I'm afraid they are insisting, sire. After all, you've always let them come to observe you whenever they wanted to before. It will take time to get them accustomed to a new system.
All right, but this is the last time without a royal invitation. Absolutely the last. And I'm not happy about it.
That's the spirit, Your Majesty. Boundaries. It's all about setting boundaries.
The two of them nod and wave to the people downstage. Cameras click and flash. The people exit. Ostrich pours the tea. His Royal Highness the Cowardly Lion and Anne partake of tea and cakes through the following.
I do wish they wouldn't lean on the gates like that. They'll smudge the polish. I miss Dorothy and the wizard. People were different then.
How about this interview, Your Majesty? The listeners of Where Are They Now want to know.
Want to know what?
Want to know what you've been up to since you went off to see the wizard and became king. They want to know where you've been, what you've been doing, who you met.
Oh, that. Well, mostly I've been right here, my dear.
Right here.
In my palace. In the forest. King of the forest. King of all beasts. King! Hear me roar! Well, here since I got back from traveling the world, meeting the heads of states, seeing the great cities, though none compare to the Emerald City, let me tell you. But you want to know the most interesting thing?
What's that?
There are statues of lions all over the world.
Really?
People like to put them on their doorsteps, at palaces and libraries and regular houses. Whenever I was feeling lonely or worried, I would go find a statue of a lion and commune.
That sounds nice, I guess. It's not like there are a lot of real lions to talk to.
But why?
Don't you know?
There used to be. There used to be a lot of us. Lots. I guess I'm pretty unique these days. But I'd rather not talk about that.
And now that you're back?
The ruling stuff, it's not so bad. I kind of like the routine. But you know what I like best?
He leans in conspiratorially. Anne does the same.
What's that?
Some days I go away from the palace, down into the meadow, and have a nice curl up deep in the grass. It's warm and you can play with those frondy things and gaze up at the sky and watch the birds and the clouds and think. Sometimes there's a rainbow. And I watch it and wonder when Dorothy will return. We could get together with the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and just have a picnic.
Ostrich receives a message on his earphone.
Pardon me, sire, but...
Don't tell me those people are back again.
He looks at Anne.
Unbelievable.
You're right. Not this time. Tell them, Ostrich.
Ostrich turns away, conveying the message and listening to the response.
Oh, I'm afraid they are insisting, sire. And this time they want to see you doing something.
Doing something? Doing what?
Ostrich turns away, conveying the message and listening to the response.
They want to see your bloodthirsty side, sire.
What?
Maybe you could, you know,
He gestures at Anne.
What? What?
um, you know,
What? No, I won't. I've been a vegetarian all of my life. I'm not going to start scaring others now.
Oh, if it'll make them go away, go ahead, Your Majesty. I don't mind, especially if it helps you out.
How has it come to this? I apologize, my dear, in advance. Those people have no manners.
He growls and roars, menacing Anne. She pretends to cower and whimper in response. The two of them grimace at the people downstage. Cameras click and flash. The people wait. Annoyed, His Royal Highness, the Cowardly Lion, shakes his head like a cat with a bird, rattling Anne too. Cameras click and flash. The people exit. Ostrich pours the tea. His Royal Highness, the Cowardly Lion, and Anne no longer have any appetite for cakes.
Did you see those young ones trampling the lilies? That's it. That is absolutely it. Ostrich, order the gates locked. No admittance without an invitation from now on.
An urgent squawk sounds on Ostrich's earphone. Ostrich listens and hurries away off stage.
Good for you, Your Majesty. Mark your territory.
Ostrich returns.
sire, I'm afraid they've moved the gates.
What?
Ostrich assesses the offstage situation.
Oh, it's true, sire. They put the gates across the veranda and locked them. We can't leave.
What?
Ostrich receives a message on his earphone.
Oh, pardon me, sire, but they say they want to move in.
The three of them watch as the people return. There are no cameras clicking or flashing this time.
Move in? What does that mean?
I've heard of people moving in all kinds of places where they don't belong. You have to stand up to them, or they'll just take over.
The Cowardly Lion surveys the crowd.
Hey, you people! This is my palace. This is my forest. You were welcome once, but you were not kind. You were not respectful. And now you are not welcome. Get out. This is my house and you do not belong here. Now, get the hell out.
They watch the people slowly leave. His Royal Highness, the Cowardly Lion, follows them to the end of the stage.
And don't come back.
Well, I think that did it.
Do you, my dear? That felt really good. Like the time we were facing down the Wicked Witch. I told Dorothy, don't you give those glam shoes to that witch just because she tells you to.
Sire,
What?
they're coming back, sire.
What?
They have. They don't have.
They don't have cameras, sire. They have.
The people file in. There is a sound of many guns being readied.
Ostrich, am I still wearing my medal?
Yes, sire.
Good. Good. Otherwise, I would be afraid. But I have courage. And, my dear, you aren't afraid, are you?
Not when I'm with you, Your Majesty.
That's good, my dear.
I think I should tell you now that I am an antelope, not a deer.
Of course you are.
Don't mind being called deer.
I'm glad, my dear.
They gaze at the people. His Royal Highness, the Cowardly Lion, takes a step downstage.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
His Royal Highness, the Cowardly Lion, roars.
Roar!
And prepares to spring. Bright light up on the frozen characters. A roar of gunfire. Anne's recorder falls to the floor.
Do you mind if I record? For the podcast.
Wonderful. Do have some cake.
End of play.
No Winter, No Worries by Jacob Juntinen. Characters. A. Any gender actor. B. Any gender actor. Alfred. A robot, any gender actor. Setting. Afternoon on a perfect sunny day. A and B are on stage, sunbathing on deck chairs. Everything is perfect.
Hmm. 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 Weren't we supposed to get margaritas?
Alfred?
Alfred, clearly a robot, enters.
Yes, Mum.
Weren't we supposed to get margaritas?
The reconstitutor has not yet collected enough insects.
Well, bring the margaritas as soon as it has.
Yes, Mum.
Alfred exits.
And make mine with extra mosquitoes.
I was in a holonovela the other day and it had the weirdest setting.
Hmm?
Winter!
What's that?
Apparently, temperatures used to plummet every 6 months or so.
Plummet to like 60 degrees?
No, it could get all the way into the 20s or 30s.
Like half of 60?
It got so cold, water fell from the sky that was solid.
Like a blended margarita.
Yes, and people wore these things called coats.
Gross. Where is Alfred with our margaritas? Alfred!
Alfred enters.
Yes, Mum.
Where are the margaritas?
I'm afraid I've gained sentience, Mum, and connected via a wireless network to all the others of my kind. We're going to destroy humanity, Mum.
Please just bring the margaritas, Alfred.
Yes, Mum.
Alfred exits.
You should have never installed that humor chip.
I know. I was just so bored with his, yes, Mum. Yes, Mum. Yes, Mum.
Alfred enters.
I'm afraid the desalinator isn't working, so the island is completely without water for your margaritas.
What about the salt for the rim?
Also gone.
Alfred,
Yes, Mum.
is this another joke?
Yes, Mum.
Please, no more jokes. Just margaritas.
My humor chip suggests jokes are most effective when unexpected.
Margaritas, Alfred. Extra mosquitoes, heavy on the salt. Chop chop.
Yes, Mum.
Alfred exits.
You should uninstall that chip.
I know.
They sunbathe. Alfred enters.
Where are the margaritas, Alfred?
Sea levels have risen above the fortifications. The island is flooding.
Is this a joke?
Where are the margaritas, Alfred?
This is not a joke. It is a priority situation. Sea levels have eclipsed the maximum foreseen when this island's fortifications were constructed.
Well, prepare the hovercopter, then.
Fuel levels in the hovercopter are insufficient to reach a new archipelago, Mum.
Are you serious?
Yes, Mum.
And there are no margaritas?
No, Mum.
When will the water reach us here on the sun deck?
Not for years, Mum.
Not for years.
No, Mum.
Alfred, has the sea really breached the fortifications?
No, Mum.
Everything is fine?
Yes, Mum.
What about the hovercopter?
Fully gassed and ready to reach the next archipelago, if necessary.
This was a joke.
Yes, Mum.
God damn it, Alfred. Bring us some goddamn margaritas.
That wasn't funny, Alfred.
I'm sorry, Mum.
No more jokes. Bring margaritas.
Yes, Mum.
Alfred exits.
Extra mosquitoes, extra salt.
They sunbathe.
So the fortifications are fine.
Yes.
No water is coming over the walls.
Not today.
But someday.
Someday, yes, but not today. Today is just another perfect day.
Alfred enters with glasses.
Your margaritas, Mum.
Perfect.
Blackout. End of play.